Welcome to Zack Attack Reviews. Thank you for joining me as I break down the good and the bad of Harley Quinn Season 3. The first two seasons of this show has made me feel like this is the best DC product out there. Even though I love some of the movies and I love some of the shows, especially something like Superman and Lois, the consistency and the quality of this show and the way they take characters and turn them into different things and play aspects that are really, really funny made me feel like this is the type of DC that's really great. It's still dark but comedic at the same time. Did Season 3 uphold that? Did it fall off a cliff, or is it the best season yet? Before I answer that question and I get to the premise of the show, remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you like reviews, reactions, and discussions on movies and films. Now let's talk about what this season is about. The mayhem and the madness continues in Season 3 of this biting, uproarious adult animated comedy series. Wrapping up their Eat, Bang, Kill tour inspired by this comic of the same name, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy return to Gotham as a new power couple of DC villainy. Along with their ragtag group of King Shark, Clayface, and Frank the Plank, Harlivy, the new couple name, strives to become the best version of themselves while also working towards Ivy's long-desired plan of transforming Gotham into an Eden paradise. Let's talk about the good. After 2 seasons of Harley struggling with distancing herself from the Joker and dealing with that relationship and not going back, and also having a toxic, will they, won't they relationship she was having with Ivy in the second season, it was refreshing to see the character have a healthy relationship and turn the corner in this season, closer to what the comic book version is and the best version of Harley Quinn. If you're a fan of Harley and Ivy relationship from the comics, and you just, not even if you're not a comic fan, but if you just wanted them to be in a relationship from season 1, this show does not disappoint. Their relationship plays out like a TV rom-com would. They annoy each other with each other's habits. They get jealous when exes are about, so we get a little bit of Kite Man action and check in with him and see how he's doing. A little bit of Joker and see how he's doing because of that. And they also try to get into each other's hobbies or master plans, even though it might not be for their best interest. There's conflict there, but not enough where it's like, oh God, they're gonna break up. It's just like regular relationships. Sometimes your ideologies don't mix well together, and I think that is smartly written. And it's all relatable and familiar if you've been in a relationship or if you've watched rom-coms before, which, come on, everyone's watched a rom-com before, but it's heightened by the antics and craziness of this show, such as the girls going on a road trip with Norma Freeze, which turns into straight hilarity. Them getting invited into a court of owls and an orgy going on. I don't want to spoil any of that, but that's one of the best episodes of the season. And the show taking a weird turn with the Joker becoming a progressive and running for mayor. All these things and more makes this season and the relationship feel really, really fleshed out and makes it just feel so satisfying. The first half of the season feels like Poison Ivy is becoming the main character of the show. It focuses so much on her ambitions, her trying to find herself, trying to figure out what she really wants to do, and it makes it feel like Harley is becoming the supporting character in her own television show. And at first I was scared. I thought, oh God, are they turning Ivy into the new Joker figure for her, where she just follows her around googly eye and doesn't have a mind for her own after all this character growth that she's been going through the first 2 seasons to become independent and lean towards more of a anti-hero, kind of like a Punisher who kills people but kind of does good things. But the show smartly took all that build up and really connected Poison Ivy's growth and Harley's growth together in a very, very, very smart and fun way. And once I realized what they were doing in the season and where they were heading Harley into and where they were heading Ivy, it just retroactively made all the episodes before it much more interesting and much more better. And I wanted to rewatch the series again because of that, to see the hints and the little things that they must have been doing to lead to it, because it just felt organic. It didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel like it came out of nowhere. It just made sense. So they did things in the first half of the season to make everything make sense. And the supporting cast is as great as ever, but in this season there's more of a focus on the Bat family. Batgirl trying to become best friends with Harley. They introduced Nightwing, who's trying to be the coolest person ever, which is kind of a play because everyone thinks Nightwing is the coolest person ever, but even though in the show he's a little bit of a dork. Damian being here a little bit, and he's just being a child that wants to play games all the time and just being super serious. But one of the best turns that they had is bringing Bruce Wayne, Batman, more in the forefront of the show, and his focus and kind of him turning into a villain, which I think is very interesting. I've always liked the the idea of seeing Batman as a villain towards his villains, and they're the hero of his story. That's kind of what they did here. And one of the best episodes, maybe the best episodes of the series so far, is an episode titled Batman Begins Forever. It's so clever. The title tells you everything you need to know, and the way that it pokes fun at Batman's ideology but also deepens it and really makes you understand the character at the same time is the brilliance of this show. And while they're doing that, they don't lose sight of Harley's growth and where she's headed towards going into probably the next season, because they already announced season 4 starts right there in that episode, and everything starts to connect, and my mind went, wow, it was so good. I really enjoyed it. Let's talk about the bad. So this season overall, I think, was just almost damn perfect. But my only issue is that other characters that I thought were really great in the first 2 seasons and were really funny, and characters that were integral to the story and making this show feel special, were kind of pushed to the wayside. I think Kite Man was maybe in 1 episode, and they really didn't have anything to do for him. Now that him and Ivy aren't together, and hopefully in season 4 he gets to come back because he's a great character. King Shark has a very interesting storyline when it comes to his family, but that is not fleshed out as much as it should be. Same thing with Clayface. He has a storyline that's a little bit more in-depth with this stuff, and it ties into the main story, but him in particular, he's kind of becomes a little bit annoying. He needs to be used more in small doses, or needed to figure out to balance him out. And there's other characters like Jim Gordon, who has a storyline that kind of goes to the wayside. Joker, who has a storyline, and it was a lot of different things going on, and they all ended up tying into the finale and everything that supported Harley. But I just felt like there was not enough emphasis on those characters as they used to be. So let's get to my verdict. So to answer the questions that I said before at the top of the video, I do think that this is the best season of Harley Quinn. It combines all the best parts of the first 2 seasons and adds even more depth to the show, and add even more supporting characters that are likable. Hopefully for season 4 they can balance those characters out a little bit more. That's the only little dent that I have in this, but I think that is a minor nitpick to how brilliant the writing is, great the voice acting is, the action is really good, and the way they show these characters that are beloved, especially if you're a comic book fan, and just make it really funny, and just have political commentary, but that's not slapping you in the face. It just makes sense. It's just a delight. I think that this is a great show that everyone should check out if you're an adult, because it's not for kids. And with that said, I'm going to give it a B+. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate Harley Quinn season 3? Did you think it was the best season yet, or did it fall off a cliff? Do you disagree with me? What were your favorite moments? What were your least favorite moments? And who is your favorite character? Answer all those questions down below. Leave a like if you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber, if you like reviews, reactions, and more. And hit that notification bell so you can be notified when more videos come out, and you can catch more of my content right now.